Diagnosing Mental Illness. Xuefeng. Last night, I watched a video on Subzero 56 titled Immigrating to Canada and Encountering the Worst of the Chinese. My husband and I received the ultimate immigration punishment. The woman in the video firmly and decisively advised leaving the Chinese circle and staying away from Chinese people, stating Chinese people remain Chinese even when they are abroad. This morning, I happened to watch a video on Brainhole Utopia, discussing Lu Xun. Lu Xun wrote an article called A Madman's Diary, in which he describes Chinese history as follows. I opened the history books to check, and these histories had no dates. Written crookedly on each page were the words benevolence, righteousness, propriety, and morality. I couldn't sleep, and after carefully reading for half the night, I saw the words between the lines. The entire book was filled with two words: eating people. In 1882, the U.S. Congress passed the Chinese Exclusion Act, which absolutely prohibited the entry of Chinese people into the United States. Without proper documentation, all were to be expelled, and henceforth no Chinese were allowed to be naturalized in the United States. In 1923, the Canadian government issued the Chinese Immigration Act, essentially Canada's Chinese Exclusion Act, whose main content was to completely stop Chinese people from entering Canada. 5 months ago, a Chinese person in the Subzero 56 program warned to stay away from Chinese people. Lu Xun discovered that Chinese history was a cannibalistic history. Both the United States and Canada had enacted laws to resolutely prevent Chinese people from entering their countries. I'm not discussing the right or wrong of these views. I'm just thinking, regardless of whether others' criticisms and condemnations are correct, reflecting on oneself is still beneficial. 3 years ago, after I entered an elevator in the Royal Inland Hospital in Kamloops, Canada, a white woman around 50 years old next to me said, "Gentlemen like you are rare these days." Why did she call me a gentleman? Because when entering the elevator, I simply bowed slightly, placed my left hand on my chest, and extended my right hand in a please go first gesture. Now, let's diagnose whether we have a mental illness. If you exhibit one or several of the following mental states, it indicates that you have a mental illness. If so, being discriminated against by others is inevitable. Feeling superior or inferior to others. Feeling secretly pleased when seeing others suffer, be abused, or die. Enjoying bullying those weaker than yourself and flattering those stronger than you. Judging others and defining them based on hearsay and online comments. Being skeptical about everything, having no one to trust. Being indifferent to public affairs, focusing solely on maintaining and expanding your interests. Only considering your feelings, indifferent to others' pain. Constantly complaining and condemning others, never looking for reasons within oneself. Always in a state of anxiety, worry, fear, and anger. Other medically certified conditions such as delusional disorder, depression, schizophrenia, etc. If you possess one of the above 10 characteristics, be cautious because you might have a mental illness. If you possess many, it indicates a serious mental illness requiring treatment. March 30th, 2024,